What's up, everybody? This is your boy Chainsaw. Now, if you saw the video that I put out earlier today with regard to Amendment 3, it was something that was brought to my attention by several people who work in the, I don't know how else to call it, the head shop industry, right? Either management or owners of these businesses who sell, different head shoppy type accessories, right? So they got t-shirts, they got band t-shirts, they got classic rock type band t-shirts, the stickers, the water art pieces, the not so water art pieces, various kinds of incense holders and different art pieces. They showcase local artists, well, maybe not a lot of their customers, but some of their customers. In the case, one shop that I advertise for here on the show, Heads Up in Willow Springs, they have a kiosk where you can go and get your medical card, right? So you can be a medical person with medical benefits, right? And just things like that. So this was brought to my attention by some of those kinds of folks and some of their customers, some of their supporters, folks that do different events with them or on the premises or in association with those kind of organizations. So we're talking about Amendment 3, and everybody in there, in their Seaster was telling me, oh yeah, Chainsaw, let me tell you about Amendment 3, right? Amendment 3, it just goes too far, as it says here on the screen. It's backed by marijuana lobby, insiders. It's for insiders. It's bad for public safety and families. It dumps voter-approved safeguards and poorly written, worded, clutters Constitution, right? All that kind of thing. Maybe not so much about the kids, but they said most of this stuff that you're seeing on screen here. And I'm going to get into these guys here in just a second because it's a little bit of a different taste. But yeah, so they're telling me Amendment 3 is no good. It's not a good way. They're basically rolling back your constitutional rights, or rolling back the rights that were allowed for medical marijuana recipients. And I'm like, the fuck does that make any sense to me? Like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, we've legalized medical marijuana here in the state of Missouri. Now we're going to get an opportunity to have recreational marijuana. Like, I'm pretty sure this is what I didn't want to have my front door fucking kicked in, right at 19 years ago for. The fuck you mean? Shocking at best. But the more I read into it, if you saw that video, it turned out I was wrong. They're looking to take your ability as a medical recipient, at least from what I can tell. I haven't seen anything otherwise. They're allowing everyone to possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana for recreational purposes. Meanwhile, currently, medical marijuana recipients, patients are able to purchase 4 ounces per month. And there aren't any limitations on how much they can possess at one time. Just how much they can fucking purchase. So, yeah, that seems like weird to me. We're kicking that back an extra ounce. And then maybe not. I don't know. I guess it's going to be up to the Missouri GOP because they are the ones with the supermajority here in the state legislation and the state Senate and, of course, the governorship currently to decide whether or not they're going to extend that to medical marijuana patients. I'm just going to guess, but the last 50 years of war on drugs, that's probably the fucking case. I have no reason to think otherwise so far. But so I did that piece and I sent it around, It's going to make its rounds in the next couple of days. The folks will see it, the folks will check it out and share it on social media. So if you had a chance to check out that piece, if you're not already subscribed at chainsawccc.com/YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, blah, blah. And, at least share that video. Maybe somebody hasn't heard about this, like your boy Chainsaw. I was not aware of this until I looked and did the deep dive. I can take folks' word at face value, because it is what it is here, folks. But as I was looking at that, I didn't include this because I'll show you why. So this is from noamendment3.com. Vote no on dangerous Amendment 3. It just goes too far. Okay, this kind of sounds like some of the same stuff we was talking about, right? But keep in mind, these kind of folks are also out there, and this may be the distraction from the real facts about Amendment 3. So, yeah, share the video, yo. The 38-page constitutional amendment, which Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft called particularly lengthy and encouraged Missourians to read, has been criticized as wordy and confusing. Mike Parson called the amendment a disaster, but shut down any potential for the subject to be considered in this fall's special session, which is set to wrap this week, from the Kansas City Beacon, right? And keep that name in mind, Jay Ashcroft, because things get a little bit weirder from here with one of the other stories I want to talk about. Protect our children. In Colorado, marijuana use is among 12 to 17-year-olds is 39%, higher than the national average. Rocky Mountain HIDTA, September 8th, 2021. If a child starts using marijuana before 18, they have a 1 in 6 chance of becoming addicted. Oh, fuck. It's one of those? Yeah, folks, it's one of those. Let's see if we can get this to slow down a little bit. Higher risk of physical violence among youth that consume marijuana. American Journal of Psychiatry. Okay. I mean, I don't give a fuck who that's from. That's just, I mean, God, you could say that. There's also a higher risk of physical violence among youth who consume fucking white sugar compared to youth who don't. There's a higher risk of physical violence amongst youth who consume beef and beef-related products, and who use leather pant-holding accessories. I'm sure that's a fact. You could Google it. Prove me wrong. How about that? Yeah. All right. American Journal of Psychiatry. Fucking pork pie. Legalization can lead to increased risk of accidental ingestion in children that can lead to respiratory failure and coma. Okay. Marijuana use in youth, 12 to 18 years old, can be directly linked to developing psychotic disorders like schizophrenia. Journal of Clinical Psychology. I would like to read that study. Shit, I may. Got a weekend coming up. Higher risk of... Yeah, we already read that one. Okay, so, yeah. Mom finds cannabis gummy worm in 5-year-old's Halloween candy in St. Louis. Okay. So, it's one of those type of groups. And again, these folks are out there. These folks are out there. And when it comes to disseminating this type of information to people, as far as like the differences between what Amendment 3 is looking to actually do and the potential discrepancies between Amendment 2 and Amendment 3. I mean, these people are out there also spreading this sort of information to the public as well. And I guess good for them this time around, right? Good for them. Next time, maybe not so much, but I guess this go around, it's okay. Still feels really, really fucking tasteless. The current licensees, the Insiders Cartel, are doubling down by their sponsorship and support of Amendment 3 so that they can dominate the potentially far more lucrative adult use market. Former Missouri Supreme Court Justice Mike Wolf, St. Louis Post-Dispatch, September 29th, 2022. And that's the same guy who I actually quoted I fucking cited. I read that fucking article to you from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Was written by Mike Wolf. So, yeah, that's... So Amendment 3 is written and financed by Missouri's current medical marijuana monopoly. It will make Missouri's cannabis cartel vastly richer and will cement their special insider status into the Missouri Constitution. Amendment 3 favors the existing marijuana monopoly cartel because they are the only ones in position to profit after the measure, if passed, takes effect 30 days after the November 8th general election. Protect our community, and that's from page 39, 13, right? Protect our community. The rate of pregnant women using marijuana has nearly doubled from 2009 to 2016. It went from 4% to 7%. And, I mean, good Lord. Ironically, I just saw someone posting about this on social media the other day, that plant medicine, shaming pregnant women for their use of plant medicine. Meanwhile, what are the options? Because look, Google is your friend. I'll just leave it at that. More traffic. And again, keep in mind, folks, I don't use marijuana. Like, I haven't used marijuana in, fuck, Jesus Christ, it's been a while. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to beat a guy. But, that was like 100,000 years ago. And mostly because of Prohibition and the tactics that they were using 20 years ago here in this state are part of the reason that I don't fucking even, I don't sell the shit. I certainly don't even use the shit because of fear and complacency with regard to the law and their, the way they do things, the way they kick in people's doors and, threaten to shoot your dog and, confiscate your shit and this and that and the other thing. Because of the violence that I've seen personally, with my own two eyes, as a direct result of the war on drugs and these prohibitionist local police forces in small rural communities here in this state and elsewhere. More traffic deaths in Colorado since they legalized recreational marijuana. Traffic deaths have increased 29%, and marijuana-related traffic deaths have gone up 138%. Now, it makes you wonder. There also is a massive influx of population in the state of Colorado, but I'm sure that doesn't have anything to do with any of that traffic, right? In 2020, 1 in 5, it certainly doesn't have anything to do with the folks from Colorado, specifically Denver and Colorado Springs area moving fucking here, right? I'm sure. In 2020, 1 in 5 traffic deaths involved a driver who tested positive for marijuana in Colorado. Rocky Mountain HIDTA, September 8, 2021. Marijuana use is associated with 22% higher chance of someone needing to visit the emergency room or be hospitalized. Get the fuck out of here. British Medical Journal. 22% higher chance of someone needing to visit the emergency room or be hospitalized. Daily marijuana-related emergency room visits in San Diego quadrupled between 2014 and 2019. Wow. Around 20% of young pregnant women in California tested positive for marijuana in 2016. Again, what does that mean? How is that conclusive? I don't know. I guess, you just state a fact there with no consequence. It is what it is, folks. Amendment 3 is terribly written. Corporate interests. Okay, so here's some actual bread and fucking butter here. Corporate interest is exploiting our Constitution by proposing Amendment 3, a 39-page amendment, over 50,000 words. Most of it is just, I would say probably the first, 15, 20 pages I was looking at earlier is just a glossary of definitions like any other contract. What are we calling shit and what does it actually mean? Maybe closer to 15 than 20, I would say. So yeah. Written solely by the industry to profit billions of dollars that will be nearly impossible to change. Now this again, bread and butter. This is the first time in Missouri history that an industry has been given a constitutional right to sell their product in the state of Missouri. Amendment 3 overrides local communities' ability to make any meaningful decisions or any significant controls on these drug-dealing businesses, including allowing these dangerous drugs to be sold near schools, daycares, and churches. Now, ironically, the same argument has been made by the other side, that even so, some of your local municipalities will still be able to place more and further restrictions on use of recreational marijuana. And that's, I find that interesting that they're going the other way with that because they're all a bunch of puritanical prohibitionist sons of bitches. But that's interesting. Oh, there's more. Jesus Christ. Using an unprecedented loophole, Jay Ashcroft overrode the county clerks, failing to inform them he qualified the initiative and refused to provide transparency as to how he validated the signatures. Oh, God, here we go with that shit again. An exclusive group of corporations are bankrolling Amendment 3 to create a monopoly in the Constitution to make billions of dollars off selling drugs to our youth and communities. Okay, I mean, I guess, really, the fact of the matter is an exclusive group of corporations are bankrolling Amendment 3 to create a monopoly in the Constitution to make billions of dollars by operating a lottery which to allow other smaller businesses to even be able to sell the shit in the first place. And then there's talk of and I'll admit I didn't actually get into that too much. There was talk of micro enterprises or micro corporations with that regard, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is that, like sole proprietor? You can just individual pot dealer guy. Certainly something I guess I should probably look into a little bit more before I speak about it. But Jesus Christ, they're worrying about a cartel making millions of dollars selling drugs to your kids. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, it's more like preventing small business owners from being able to operate a lucrative business, or just anybody who can grow pot to be able to grow pot and sell the stuff. Make it to where they can get a license. Make it to where anybody who can afford a license can get a license. Anybody, the waiting period. There's certain measures you've got to take, certain filings you've got to do. Make it like that. Was this like, well, it's lottery shit. It's who's in control of those numbers? I mean, I'll tell you. Nothing more than 30 pages of mischief. Missouri Association of Prosecuting Attorneys. Organizations Against Amendment 3. Missouri Catholic Conference. Missouri Farm Bureau. Fucking who's surprised? Missouri Hospital Association. Missouri Narcotics Officers Association. Again, who's fucking surprised? The fucking Missouri Southern Baptist Association. Don't you boys have a whole lot more to worry about than this? Missouri State Medical Association. All right. Well, so there's that. I don't even know where to go with that. Again, while we're worried about actual constitutional rights for small business owners being infringed by them allowing new constitutional rights to be put in place, and then of course the constitutional rights that were already put in place for medical marijuana recipients and patients to be maybe stomped on by this new amendment to the state constitution. But again, it is what it is, folks. Missouri Farm Bureau, gonna Missouri Farm Bureau.